Hello, my name is John Schneider. When I was a kid, I used to visit my Grandma Vi in the Jersey Bayshore area, and I'd take 8mm movies of my family and their friends. In fact, I was the family filmmaker. Today I live here, but traded my film camera for video, and recently shot this tugboat in the Shrewsbury River. Welcome to Jersey Bayshore country. Where is the Jersey Bayshore? Let's get oriented by starting with the big picture. It's somewhere in here, part of the universe, and definitely part of our world. But it's like no place I've ever experienced. And as soon as we land, I'll show you around. Hello, everybody. I'm John Schneider, your host for Jersey Bayshore Country. Today's episode is all about the Raritan Bay, the beautiful beaches on the bay, and we're also going to go into Sandy Hook Bay and Shrewsbury River. As a matter of fact, we're on Sandy Hook, and behind the camera is the Atlantic Ocean and about 7 miles of sandy beaches, some of them very narrow, some of them very wide. Some of the beaches takes you a long time to get to the water. There's a nude beach as well. It's sanctioned, don't worry. You can take off your clothes and do it in a perfectly legal way if that's your cup of tea. But today we're going to do a bunch of things on this program. As I've said many times, the Jersey Bayshore is all about water. We all love water. In fact, we are almost a peninsula. We're surrounded by water. And if you look at here, this is really where it all starts. Millions of years ago, this was a river valley. And the Raritan River flows into this, and the local Native American Indians would fish here and camp along the river. And then, of course, after the Ice Age, it the water level rose up, and today it's Raritan Bay. Great fishing, great swimming. So we're going to start in a sort of an unusual way. We're going to go all the way to the west, as far west as you can go, at the very edge of the Raritan Bay. And we're going to take a boat ride along the Jersey Bayshore kind of coastline. And I'm going to show you the towns, I'm going to show you the beaches, and we'll stop once in a while to look at some things. We're going to look at something that goes out into the bay about 2.5 miles. It's Naval Weapons Station Earle. A lot of people don't know it even exists. We're going to go there. We're going to look at maybe a lighthouse or two, and we've got a Conover light beacon that is located in Leonardo. We'll stop and take a look at that while we're looking at Earle. So sit tight, relax, enjoy the show, and let's take a boat ride. Let's get the boat out of the slip. We're going to take it all the way up to Aberdeen, which really kind of is the beginning of our journey, and we'll show you the beaches and we'll show you the marinas as we go along. So enjoy. Well, this is Raritan Bay. Beautiful, beautiful body of water with fishing and boating and lots to do. To the north is New Jersey, Staten Island, New York City, Long Island. To the south is the Jersey Bayshore, where I live. Let's take a boat ride today. We'll go along the Jersey Bayshore, and I'll show you some of the towns. They're great little towns. We're going to take a 10-foot boat, 10-horsepower motor, and we're going to explore the towns right here in the Jersey Bayshore. So we'll be going from west to east towards Sandy Hook, and we're going to start right here in Aberdeen. And we're going to go to where I live, right here in Highlands, New Jersey. And it'll take about 15 minutes, so I hope you enjoy it. So here we are in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is situated in a cove. On one side is Aberdeen, on the other side is Keyport, and they can look at each other. Here we're looking at Aberdeen. We're going into the cove right now. That's Raritan Bay, as you can see. And there's the view of Aberdeen from Keyport. Still a view of Aberdeen from Keyport. Now, a couple of little beaches. Here's a boat we're following actually into the marina. And Aberdeen and Keyport also share a marina. Keyport on the left, Aberdeen on the right. I love these old bridges going under them. They're so interesting. This is still Aberdeen, the marina in Aberdeen. You can stop here for fuel for your boat if you like to. Love these birds. I like to play chicken with them. Okay, now we're going to go to Keyport, which means we turn around in the marina, and we're going to go back out the channel. And now Aberdeen is on my left, and Keyport is on our right. And we're going to go through that bridge, just like we did before. There's an old tavern over there. We're following this guy. And we're going to go out into the main cove. Now we're coming down to the waterfront area of Keyport, which is to your right. There's a pier that people like to go out and just look and fish. Lots of fishing. And there's a restaurant there. I haven't tried it. It's called Burlou's. I think that's how you pronounce it. There's the town clock. It's beautifully landscaped there. If you haven't been to Keyport, spend a day there. Walk around, look at the old homes. There's beautiful gardens and homes and streets. There's shops to go in. It's one of the nicest downtown areas that I've seen. Somebody windsurfing here in the cove in Keyport. Those are some of the homes that red home. See it? There it is from the street side. Very interesting old home. And it has a little beach right there, which is kind of nice. Lots of sailboats in the harbor. I call it a cove, but I guess it's a harbor. Old water tower. Not sure if it's used. There's a yacht club. It's the Keyport Yacht Club. There it is. And those look like condos or apartments, but right on the water. Very nice. And you can see Staten Island across the way. And there's that old water tower. Don't know what it is. We're swinging around now. We're coming out of the cove. And it's a little wilder on the point out here. There's a lot of people camping and fishing. That's Aberdeen over there. We're actually leaving Keyport, and now that's Keyport. And we're coming out to a point, but now we're going to go to Union Beach, which is around that point. See it? And that has its cove, and it shares a cove with Keansburg. So here we are driving up to the cove. Lots of monuments to the people who fought in the military and for 9/11. You can see New York from Union Beach like you can from almost all the beaches in the Bayshore area. It's really a nice beach, Union Beach. I really do like it. There's some homes there and look like condos and apartments. And that road we drove up on is right there with the flag and the monument. Very nice beach. A lot of people were out. There's a hot dog stand there and a very beautiful memorial to firefighters, which I stopped and looked at. And you can buy a hot dog there, and there's a playground, and there's a fireman holding a baby. This is still Union Beach. Into another marina. If you go this way, like we're going, you're still in Union Beach. If you go the other way, you're in Keansburg. So we're going to go down this marina and kind of explore. It looks like it's very shallow. There's a little fire over there. I don't know if you saw the smoke. Beautiful boats. And now we're going to come around. There's the lock we came in. Now we're going to Keansburg, and we're going to come out and we're going to go into the marina that is in Keansburg, which is basically the marina on the other side. A lot of birds and cranes and ducks and that sort of thing, and a lot of boats. So we're going to be leaving the Keansburg Marina now. And there's a couple of beaches on the Keansburg side. There's one of the beaches on the west side, and there's the amusement water ride, Keansburg. Very old pier that goes way out, but they rebuilt some of it to go at least halfway out. But here we are at the end of the pier, and that's where the new pier stops. That's Keansburg Amusement Park right there. And the beach looks very nice. The sand is all sort of an orangey, kind of a nice, beautiful color. It's very clean. The water's very nice. That's the Naval Weapons Station, Earle, which you can see from almost every beach. And we'll have to go around that later. There's one of the rides at Keansburg. We'll be doing a video on Keansburg at some point, I hope. But they have lots of beaches, lots of access, bicycle paths. Keansburg, lots of shops downtown, and again, that's New York from Keansburg. But the beaches are very nice, very expansive. The water's very clean, sometimes very shallow, so you can wade out into the water. And you can see Raritan Bay is just beautiful. There's Atlantic Highlands off in the distance, and more of Keansburg. This is along the main drag near the amusement park, and there's lots of footpaths and that sort of thing. But Keansburg is very nice beach. So if you want to go there and spend the day at the beach and do some other things, in the amusement park. Now we're going to leave Keansburg and Union Beach, and we're going to Port Monmouth. Port Monmouth also has beautiful beaches, just like all the Bayshore towns. There's Atlantic Highlands way off in the distance. You can see it again. It has a jetty with a marina. We'll go into the marina in a minute. It has a beautiful park. Pew's Creek is in there. But this is a look at the marina as you go into the jetty. Everybody's fishing on the jetties all the time. And here we're going to go in and take a look and see what we can find. You can see some people here. Hey, how you doing? They were very friendly. Everybody's friendly, but it's real pretty in here. And they're still working on a lot of these marinas and trying to make them better. But this is all Port Monmouth. Beaches are beautiful. That's a very strong jetty. People fishing out there all the time. And like I said, Pew's Creek is in Port Monmouth. There's the bridge, and this is the creek. More people fishing. And there's another beach. Now the interesting thing, there's Earle, always out there. Here's the Spy House, which is in Port Monmouth. If you haven't been there, go visit it. It's open Sundays from 1 to 4. Now let's go to Belford. I always refer to Belford as a little fishing village. There's some really nice condos or apartments that guard the jetty. There's Earle again. Commuters come and go from Belford all day long. And we'll show you that in just a minute. Here it comes, coming into dock. And a lot of really old fishing vessels and old seafood distribution places. Some of these old boats here, look, they must, well, here it is, New York Waterway. This is the New York Waterway boat that is docking. And now it docked, it's turning around, and it's going back to New York. Belford is a nice little town, very small, very quaint, some old cemeteries and very old houses. It's really nice to drive around and see some of the old homes in Belford. If you haven't done it, you should do that. Belford is very nice. There's a blimp I discovered on my way to Leonardo. There's Atlantic Highlands. It's a Horizon blimp. I couldn't help but stop and wait and take a look at it. There's Atlantic Highlands, and then we have to now, after Leonardo, we have to navigate around Earle. Well, this is a good time to take a break and take a look at this thing called the Naval Weapons Station Earle. Here it is. It goes out about 2.5 miles into Raritan Bay. Once in a while, I like to take my small boat out onto Sandy Hook Bay and just explore. A couple of times, however, my wandering on the water brought me into a restricted area where I was expeditiously asked to leave by military personnel who patrol the 2.2-mile-long pier known as Naval Weapons Station Earle. It's a United States naval base, which begins in Colts Neck and extends to the end of the pier by railroad tracks, where trains make deliveries to the ships. Earle was built back in 1943 when the military decided it needed an ammunition depot in the New York area to support the war effort. This particular location, just off the shores of Sandy Hook Bay, between Leonardo and Belford, seemed ideal because it was a well-protected port to load ammunition, and there were railroad tracks coming from where the majority majority of ammunition shipments originated. It was also considered to be safe because the ammunition could be loaded and unloaded from warships safely in the middle of the bay. Named after Rear Admiral Ralph Earle, who headed the Bureau of Ordnance during World War I, the pier is connected to a location in Colts Neck by Normandy Road, with a parallel 15-mile military road and railroad line which passes over Route 36 where the entrance to the pier is located. Overlooking the naval pier is Conover Beacon, located on the shores of Leonardo. The original wooden beacon and lightkeeper's dwelling was built in 1856 on the purchased beachfront property of Rudolph Conover. The Conover light beacon was discontinued in 1923 when gas-lighted buoys were used to mark the channel formerly served by Conover Beacon. The Conover light beacon in Leonardo may still be seen by visitors today. And now here's Leonardo. And again, another monument. Almost all the towns have monuments to 9/11 victims. Beaches at Leonardo, very nice, very sandy, not as orange as the other beaches a little further west in some of the other Bayshore towns, but nevertheless very nice. This is a state ramp where you can launch boats, and a bunch of people were launching boats when I was there. The Leonardo Marina looks very nice, very organized, and lots of boats just sitting. Why they weren't going out, I don't know, but it was a beautiful day. Leonardo, right next to Belfort. And there, coming out of Leonardo, there's Atlantic Highlands. You can see the hills in Atlantic Highlands, and here's a little bit of Leonardo. Now Leonardo kind of runs into Atlantic Highlands, and here now we are in Atlantic Highlands, and beautiful homes everywhere, in the hills, on the water. Some of the most beautiful homes you'll ever see, mansions really, some of them. There were people jet skiing all over the Bayshore too, but a lot of people were jet skiing here. A lot of people sailing, obviously. There was a little bit of wind. Look at the windows in this house, and there's Atlantic Highlands, and there's one of the restaurants. And I thought these old pilings were just sort of interesting. All the birds gathered here. It was like a social gathering sometimes. Look at that one. He's ready to take off. There's the Atlantic Highlands Marina over there. We'll go in there in a minute. There's the Sea Streak, which leaves from Atlantic Highlands daily and nightly. Beautiful sailboats in here. Gorgeous town. Wonderful shopping. Beautiful place to live. Lots to do. Nightlife. Some of the sailboats. That looks like the control tower. Beautiful new pier to walk out on or fish. Here's some of the homes in the hills. Just gorgeous homes. That one's mine right there in the middle. I wish. You'll see where the bird is flying. Right around there, we're going to be going into Highlands in a moment. But there's the footpath and the bicycle path, which is the Henry Hudson Trail. And that goes all along the water. There used to be a railroad track there that used to run frequently and was closed a while ago. And then they built the Henry Hudson Trail. Now we're going to where I live, Highlands. I'll be home at last. And we need to pass Papa Mora Park, which is a park in Monmouth County. Here's some of the marinas, very large boats here in both Atlantic Highlands and Highlands. Not as many sailboats in Highlands. One of the beaches, Connors, if you're familiar with Connors, an old place that used to be here, is no longer here, is now where the Sea Streak departs from. And it departs from right in this area. Some of the beaches along Highlands. Highlands has a lot of public beaches and places to swim. Of course, it's right across from Sandy Hook. We won't be going there today, but we'll go there some other day. There's the Recreation Center for Highlands. This is Captain's Cove, another marina in Highlands. It's another beach. Some of these beaches are private. Some of them belong to neighborhoods, and some of them belong to homes. Some wonderful restaurants in Highlands, which we'll pass in a little while. Some more boats. It's a wonderful place to go boating because while there seem to be a lot of boats, there's not a lot of boat traffic out on Raritan Bay. There are the clammers out there every morning looking for clams, and there's sailboats generally in the afternoon when the wind picks up. And there's a few speedboats and a couple of jet skis, but there's not a lot of traffic to be worried about. This is one of the public beaches. This is a wonderful restaurant, Inlet Cafe. I eat there very often, usually for lunch, but I like to go there for dinner as well. The chef is just marvelous. There's a couple of chefs, and they're both extremely good chefs. Next to it is the Wind and Sea. The Wind and Sea is also a wonderful restaurant that has entertainment quite often, bands and guitars and singers and that sort of thing. They sing right out there on that dock by that tiki bar. Another big boat. This is a place to get fuel. One of the places that I get fuel for my boat. That's my boat right there. And you're asking, how could you be in that boat when you're on another boat? Well, this is the dinghy to that boat that we're in. It's another nice boat, the Little Hawk. Doesn't look so little, does it? There's some new construction that's being raised. A lot of the houses in Highlands are now being raised for future superstorm activity. You can see the twin lights up there. See them? There they are. Twin lights, the old historic lighthouses built in 1862. Here's Bar's Restaurant, Bar's Landing. That's an institution. It's been here next to one bridge or another for a long, long time. This is the new bridge, the Joseph Azzolino Memorial Bridge. We're going to go under that, and once we get under that, we have a few more homes. That's a public beach right next to the bridge. And once we get past a couple of these homes, our tour will be over. And I think this is the biggest boat that I've seen on the Bayshore, and it is permanently docked in front of that house, and that's a beautiful house too. But the boat right there is it, and that's it. That's the tour from Aberdeen to Keyport to Union Beach to Keensburg, Port Monmouth, Belford, Leonardo, Atlantic Highlands, and Highlands. It's the JerseyBayshore.com where your adventure begins. Raritan Bay is used for so many things: sailing, fishing, scuba diving, parasailing. The blimp it flies over the bay advertising. Planes fly over the bay to show us their banners as they fly behind the plane. But one of the things that we want to look at now is a major means of transportation into New York City. It's our ferry system. And there is the Sea Streak Ferry, which leaves from Atlantic Highlands and Sandy Hook and goes to New York and back and forth all day long. A lot of commuters take that. And we're also going to look at New York Waterways, which is also a ferry service out of Belford, which goes to New Jersey and to New York. This is the time when the day meets the night, when everything wrong becomes everything right, and the stars shine to guide us both home. In each other's arms we're never alone. With our love there is nothing to see. It's all in the music of a nighttime symphony. Our love, it stays completely out of sight. Holding each other can make it so bright, so bright. This is the time when the day meets the night, when everything wrong becomes everything right. Stars shine to guide us both home. Within our arms we're never alone. With our love there is nothing to see. It's all in the music of a nighttime symphony. Our love, it stays completely out of sight. Holding each other can make it so bright, so bright. This is the time when the day meets the night, when everything wrong becomes everything I'm so glad you watch and so glad you listen, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.